Hey everyone, this will be an introduction to my new YouTube channel. My new YouTube channel name will be Darth Nihilus, and the reason for me choosing this new name is because many trolls on YouTube were already making the false assumption that I would just use my same old YouTube channel name up until the point where it got terminated last year, and I think it was like October of 2023, unfortunately, which was called the Blackpilled Joker, and before that, Marshall Mathers the Fourth. And the reason why I stopped using the name Marshall Mathers the Fourth is because the trolls ruined that name for me. I mean, they just completely ruined that name for me because it was bothering the shit out of me that so many trolls were, making fun of my previous YouTube channel name to the Blackpilled Joker, Marshall Mathers the Fourth, like Pebrick calling himself Pebrick Mathers the Fifth, or other idiot, sorry ass, good for nothing trolls who have like no life or nothing to live for if they just spend all their fucking time trolling a guy who's already dead inside. I mean, seriously, like, I've been hopeless and brokenhearted for so many years. I have been full of despair ever since I was a teenager. Ever since I was 15 years old in 2012, even though a lot of you, every time I say that, you may think that I'm bullshitting or lying, or you probably just think it's funny that I even say that, but I'm being honest when I say that ever since I was 15 years old in the year 2012, I have been hopeless, brokenhearted, full of despair, emotionally torn apart, dead inside, and just made the decision since then on to give up on life and not even try to better my life, not even try to do anything in my life, anything at all. And I certainly never tried to improve myself or my life in any way that I possibly could have. If I would have been a normal person, that is, and if I would have had motivation, self-esteem, drive, if I would have had like ambition, but I didn't have any of those things. I never did. And that was never me. I was always stunted growing up. I mean, I'm an extremely stunted person. And I mean, even now as an adult, and I have been an adult now for many years. I've been officially an adult since I was 18 in 2015, which is 8 years ago now. Which is shocking to even think about. And, I'm embarrassed and humiliated that I've been as dependent as I am on my parents, even as an adult. Ever since I was 18 years old, I have been totally and completely dependent on them, 100%. And I think that is embarrassing. I think it's humiliating. I think it's shameful. I think it's pathetic. But that's who I am as a person. That's who I am as a man. I'm a pathetic human being. I'm a sad excuse of a human being. I'm a waste of human existence, if anything. I'm someone who just wasted my life. And I made that choice. I made that decision so many years ago. And, nobody could tell me otherwise. Nobody could change my mind. Nobody could try to pressure me or force me to do something I didn't want to do, or try to change me. They couldn't, because I was extremely, incredibly stubborn. I wasn't going to budge. Um, but anyways, so the reason why I chose this new YouTube channel name of mine, which is again Darth Nihilus, is because um, obviously, and of course, I'm a big Star Wars fan, nerd, geek, whatever you want to call me. Even though, I don't really have that many Star Wars movies or comic books or Star Wars posters or whatever, or like Star Wars video games or anything like that, but I think the fictional Star Wars character Darth Nihilus is a really awesome, cool character, cool fictional character because of the name Darth Nihilus, because a lot of incel men in this world have a philosophy or belief system that is called nihilism or nihilistic or nihilism. And what's interesting is one of the Star Wars Sith characters is named Darth Nihilus, even though his name Nihilus is not spelled the same way as nihilism or nihilistic even, but it's similar. And Darth Nihilus is a pure evil character. He's not like a evil character that's broken. He's pure evil. Not that I think of myself as pure evil. I do think of myself as being fucked up in the head and somewhat twisted and warped and whatnot. But I don't think I am pure evil. And a lot of the Sith Star Wars characters are not pure evil, but they're just broken, and that's why they're bad. And I kind of think of myself as that, but I just love the name Darth Nihilus because I have a very hopeless, despairing, very dark mindset. And I've been this way for years. I mean, I've been this way ever since I was a teenager. And many years ago in my life, like I said before and earlier in this video, I made the decision and choice to give up on life and to just call it quits all around, 100%. And ever since I was a teenager, I've been hopeless, brokenhearted, torn apart, dead inside, full of despair, constantly depressed, miserable, and stressed out, and angry, hateful, jealous, envious. I mean, I've dealt with all those emotions, all those negative, dark emotions or feelings that have just eaten away at me completely ever since I was a teenager. And so I wanted to pick a somewhat kind of dark name for my new YouTube channel. And, I didn't want to pick like an incel name or like some sort of like Blackpilled name or whatever, because I already went by the Blackpilled Joker, and I don't want to go by some sort of like incel name because I don't want to risk YouTube terminating this channel, knowing that I am just starting it now. And I hate the fact that my previous YouTube channel got terminated. I hate that because of how much time and effort I spent into making that YouTube channel and making all those videos for all those years of my life that I'll never be able to see again. And, all those hours, all those days, all those weeks, all those months, and all those years that I spent in making those YouTube videos and trying to build my YouTube channel. And, my hope, even though, it didn't really work out in the way that I thought it would, years ago, that is, when I was like 20 years old, when I first started my YouTube channel in 2017. At the time, I really thought and believed, and I'm honestly an idiot for believing this even at any point in my life, that I thought and believed that I would be like the biggest incel YouTuber ever in the history of YouTube. That I would be the most famous, biggest, most popular incel YouTuber on this platform compared to any other incels that also are on this platform and use it themselves. I genuinely believe that. I thought that. I believed that. That was my hope all those many years ago when I was 20 in 2017. But obviously that didn't happen, and I was wrong. And I should have never believed that. And again, I was an idiot and stupid for even believing that my YouTube channel would ever really go anywhere, or that I would have ever became like a super famous YouTuber as an incel of all things, like a famous YouTuber for being an incel. That was my hope. That was my dream. That's what I wish would have happened all those years ago. I'm not saying that, that I thought that I would have became a famous YouTuber like the moment that I would have started making incel YouTube videos all those many years ago in 2017 when I was a 20-year-old. Obviously, I know that it would have taken me a certain amount of time or years to become big, but after doing YouTube videos for all the years that I had been doing it for, which was 6 years, which is quite a long time, I thought that I would have at least had around, 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers after making YouTube videos for 6 years, but no, I didn't. Not even close. Up until my YouTube channel got terminated, I almost had about 17,000 subscribers. I had like 16,503 or 30 or 36 or something like that. Nothing that big, nothing that outstanding or impressive or shocking or whatever. It was just a dinky amount. Not that I didn't appreciate even that amount of subscribers that I had, but I wish I would have had more. And the reason why I wish I would have had more is because if I would have had more YouTube subscribers, when my YouTube channel got terminated, like say hypothetically speaking, I would have had 50,000, 100,000, or maybe even, and this is just hypothetically speaking, 1 million subscribers, which would have been a total dream come true and would have made me so damn happy. So damn happy. And I would have been so astonished and shocked if I would have had that many. But the reason I wish that would have been the case in reality of my YouTube channel is because then when YouTube terminated my channel, and also depending on how loyal my subscribers would have been and how much they would have had my back, they could have went over to YouTube's official Twitter page and harassed the higher ups at YouTube and demand that they put my channel back and remove all the strikes or whatever. Because there have been other YouTubers who are not even incels who have had their channels get terminated, but because they had so many subscribers, what their subscribers would do, and I know some of them, not personally, but I know like the YouTubers because they were like famous or popular or whatever, their subscribers would just go over to YouTube's official page on Twitter and harass YouTube. But I mean, that would be like 100,000 or 1 million people doing it, enough to get the attention of YouTube and the higher ups at YouTube, at the YouTube headquarters, the people who work there, the YouTube elitists or the people over at Google to demand that they put such and so's YouTube channel back. And sure enough, YouTube would do just that, and they would take away any strikes that YouTuber had as well. And what's interesting about my old YouTube channel that got terminated just last year, not that long ago either, unfortunately, is that I didn't have any strikes. Like, seriously, I had none. I had 0 strikes, not a single one. And I didn't even have any warnings. Like, my YouTube channel just literally got terminated out of nowhere, just out of thin air pretty much. And so it came at a shocking, unfortunate blow to me. And it took me even a little while to kind of like take in and absorb and comprehend that, wow, my channel that had been going strong for 6 years is terminated just like that, out of nowhere, out of thin air. Like, and I was just like, what the fuck? All that time and all that effort, all those days, weeks, months, and years that I spent making those videos and trying to build my YouTube channel is just gone, just like that, and I'll never get it back. Never. And I think it's unfair that YouTube does that to anyone. Not just me being an incel, but to any YouTubers. I think it's unfair. I think it's even in a way kind of tyrannical, like almost something like a dictator would do, if anything. Like, it's just, I just feel it's too much. It's too extreme. It's insane that YouTube does that, and that YouTube has the right to do that. And they have the power and control and authority and just total dominance to do that to me or other YouTubers. And what's interesting is that last year YouTube apparently had this massive purge that went on back in like September, October of 2023, where they deleted as many black-pilled incel YouTubers' channels as possible. Many of them. I mean, they terminated a lot of incel YouTubers right around the same time that they terminated my channel, because I was an incel. Well, I mean, I had an incel YouTube channel, and I still am an incel, of course, and obviously, and I'll most likely, if anything, die an incel. Die a virgin, and my whole entire life will just be complete and total shit, and that I'll forever be hopeless, full of despair, brokenhearted, torn apart, dead inside. And I mean, I've been this way for years, and this is the only life I know. This is the only life I ever knew, and I wish that all of you understood that about me, that I don't know any other life than this life that I've had for so many years now. I can't imagine or comprehend any other life that I could possibly have, because I'm just so used to this life that I've had ever since I was 15. Not that I identified as an incel since I was 15. No, I didn't identify as an incel, and even when I was 16, 17, 18, or even 19. I didn't identify as an incel until I was 20 years old in 2017. And that's only because I found out about Elliot Rodger and other incels, and like the word incel and the definition, or what Google says that an incel is, or what an incel means. And from then on, that's when I was like, well, I guess I'm an incel. I mean, I don't guess, I know I'm an incel. I am. I mean, there's no denying that fact, not for a second. And, I mean, since I was a teenager, I was black-pilled, though. Like, not that I identified with the black pill, because I didn't even know what the black pill was as a teenager, but I was at least black-pilled in the sense that ever since I was like a 15-year-old teenager in late 2012 and 16 and onward in 2013, and ever since late 2012 when I was 15 years old. I mean, ever since then, I have been hopeless, brokenhearted, full of despair, torn apart, dead inside, miserable, depressed, stressed out, angry, hateful, jealous, and envious. Those were the only emotions that I've ever felt on a really deep and profound level ever since late 2012, ever since I was 15 years old. And I've been that way ever since. And then in 2017, when I was 20 years old, I identified as an incel ever since then. And, the older I get, the more angry I become, the more hateful I become, the more unhinged, the more insane, whatever, and kind of somewhat deranged that I become. And I'm just a fucking weirdo. Like, literally, there's no denying that. I'm a fucking freak. And I don't need you all to state the obvious about me when I can already do that myself. I mean, by you morons doing it, there's no point. It's pointless and unnecessary when I literally already know what the fuck I am myself, and I don't need you bitches to say what I am for me. I don't need you to speak on my behalf. I don't need any of you pieces of shit to, say what I am when I can already say it myself. And I do, and I have for years. But obviously, like, some of you just do it because you think it's fun or funny, or I don't know, maybe you think you're cool, maybe you're full of yourself, maybe you're prideful and boastful, because that's definitely the feeling that I have gotten from many of you trolls, that you most likely love yourselves too much, that you think so highly of yourselves that you're on some kind of fucking pedestal or whatever, that you're so, full of yourselves, and you're gay for yourselves. You're in love with yourselves, if anything, and you're completely self-centered, self-absorbed, narcissistic. You don't have any compassion or understanding, sympathy, empathy for anyone other than yourself, probably. And even then, you probably don't even feel sorry or bad for yourself, because you're just so fucking happy with your lives, and you're just so joyful and glad with, the way your lives are going. But I'm not, and never have been. And so if you're happy and glad and cheerful and whatever with your lives, then be that way by all means. But I'm not like you fuckers. I'm not. And thank God I'm not. And I never will be. I mean, you guys are the epitome of what is considered on the internet, online, a normie. And normies are cancer. Normies are fucking cringe to the extreme. Normies are so fucking toxic and annoying as shit. Normies are by far the worst people in existence. The worst people in our society and in our culture. And that's one of the main reasons our culture is so poisonous and toxic and cringe and disgusting and degenerate and perverted and upside down and corrupt and backwards and whatnot. It's because of you good for nothing normies thinking your lives are paradise. If anything, I mean, you at least act like your lives are so wonderful and like your lives are like heaven on earth. And you're so quick to judge anyone who you do not understand, because it's so much easier to judge someone than to actually take the time to try to understand someone else other than yourself and see where someone else is coming from, like me, for example. And I'm done though. Like, I'm done explaining myself. I'm never going to explain myself, and I'm never going to try to explain myself to any of you faggots ever again. Like, never again. even if you want me to, I'm done, and I've been done for a certain amount of time now. Like, I am through with trying to explain myself to people who do not understand me, never have, and never will. The only people who I will ever talk to or associate myself with or ever interact with online on the internet will be people who actually understand me, because they actually relate to me and they actually have gone through what I've gone through, or at least something similar. And those are the only people who I consider my friends. Other fellow like-minded incel men. Those are the only people who I care for, who I love, who I respect. And, you know, other than that, there's nobody else that I love, care about, or respect. Or want to be friends with, for that matter. Because incel men are the only men that I get, truly. And incel men are the only men who get me. Normies don't. Women don't. So there's no point in trying to make friends with normies when I hate them. And same with modern women too. And, you know, I would really appreciate it if you're not an incel man in your 20s, whether you're in your early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s, or even older. I would really highly appreciate it if none of you could come on my channel. If none of you commented or tried to start shit with me, or try to, you know, try to whatever it is that you normies do. Because, I mean, why not watch normie shit? Like, there's so much normie cringe bullshit on the internet. There is just so much of it. Such an insane amount of it, to the point where I just can't understand why any of you normies, any of you trolls, any of you, you know, people who are normal functioning human beings of society would ever bother wasting your time with a loser like me, with such a low life, pitiful, worthless failure, and a complete fuck up, and someone who is so messed up in the head and has been for years, and it's only getting worse as I get older and as time goes on in my life. And like, I just don't see what's so interesting and fascinating about me, especially since it's not like you normies or trolls or normal functioning human beings of society can relate to me. You can't understand me, so why the fuck bother watching me? It doesn't make any sense. But obviously I can't keep or prevent any of you fuckers from watching my YouTube channel. As much as I wish I could, I can't. Even though I'd love to if I had that power and ability. And if I had the power and ability to only make it so that incels could see my YouTube channel and the YouTube videos, that would be a dream come true. And that would make me really happy. Because I only want to interact with and associate with and make friends with and talk to and socialize with people who are like me on the internet. Incel men who are in their 20s, 30s, or older. Like, people who can actually relate to me and understand me and know what it's like to be me. People who are jobless losers, bums pretty much. People who have no meaning or purpose in life, or don't know what the fuck to do with themselves or their lives, and who have no motivation, self-esteem, or drive or ambition in their lives. People who have no hope. People who are so extremely brokenhearted and miserable and depressed and full of despair and torn apart in it and just dead inside emotionally. Those are the people who I want to make friends with. Those are the people who I want to associate with and interact with and make friends with. People who are like me. I feel like that's only understandable. And, you know, I don't want any of your bullshit, half-assed advice, especially when I have never asked for it in my defense. I never wanted it. And what all of you need to understand about me is that my previous YouTube channel and this new YouTube channel of mine isn't some fucking cry for help. This is not me crying for help and trying to get some kind of fucking, like, attention or advice or whatever. This is just me sharing a bit of myself. This is me trying to be understood. This is me trying to be heard. This is me being the voice for other like-minded men out there in the world who maybe, just maybe, are too shy to even put their face on the camera, who are not brave enough, who are not courageous enough, who are too scared, who would be too embarrassed to even talk to a fucking camera, of all things. Like, it's not like I'm actually talking to people. I'm just talking to a damn camera. That's it. I don't think like I'm talking to people. This is just me talking to a camera on my shitty ass phone. That's all it is. So I don't think of this as, oh, I'm talking to a large group of people. I'm talking to a crowd of people. No, I just think of this as I'm talking to a camera, because that's what I'm actually doing. So that's why I'm able to do this. And I'm not trying to judge people who aren't able to do this either. You know, I don't have anything against people who are too shy to get on camera. I don't hate people like that. I'm not trying to judge them. I'm not out to get them. I think of myself as a voice for incel men who either are too embarrassed, nervous, uncomfortable, or scared to put their face on the camera, or just don't want to because they're just so broken to the point where they don't even want to bother having their voice heard, where they don't even want to like get out there on the internet and try to have like a voice. And I have nothing against those men, and I respect those men fully. But just hoping that this new YouTube channel of mine won't get terminated, because if it does, I'm not gonna make another one. If this YouTube channel of mine gets terminated, I'm not gonna make another YouTube channel. Like, no. Just no. This is the only and last time I'm ever gonna bother with making a YouTube channel. But you know, anyways, I'm just trying to think of if there's anything else that I missed that I want to say in this video. And I know it's long, and I know all my videos are long, but you know what? I like making long videos. So if you hate that, then by all means, watch a YouTuber who makes shorter videos. Like, if you hate me for making long videos like I usually or almost always do, then literally go to any other YouTubers who make short YouTube videos who are actually normal and, you know, normal functioning human beings of society, who have jobs, who have relationships, who are married and have children, and who aren't fucking like weirdo incel men who are, you know, just a nuisance on society. Like, please, if you hate me that much, go elsewhere. Like, seriously, do yourself that favor. If you're the mature one, at least you'll leave me the hell alone, because that's what I want. If you're not a fucking incel, If you're not a sexist, misogynistic, women-hating incel like I am, then you shouldn't even bother watching my content. You shouldn't even want to be my friend. You shouldn't even try to understand me. You should want nothing to do with me. If you're that indifferent to me as a person, you shouldn't even want to bother with me. You would want nothing to do with me if you were actually a mature person and human being. But clearly, what I've come to realize about so many of you pieces of shit on the internet who are such raging weirdos is that you're immature. A lot of you are just so immature and childish, even, and just fucking lame and retarded and cringe as shit, and you just love wasting your time trying to bother and harass and make fun of and put down someone who's already dead inside, like as if you can make me feel any worse than I already do. Like, what's the point? If I already constantly and have for years put myself down, and if I've already been so very hard on myself as I have been for years of my life now, why should you? It doesn't make any sense. When you do to me what I already do to myself, that's what doesn't make sense to me, at least. But I just really hope that my new YouTube channel blows up pretty fast and quickly. At least that is my hope and that's my wish, but it probably won't. But I would be really internally grateful if it did, and happy if it did, and if I were able to actually make money on my new YouTube channel again, like I did on my old one that got terminated, that I wish didn't get terminated. And I would appreciate it and love it if any of you that actually could and want to take the time to do so could share this video with your family, with your friends, to get it more attention, obviously, and, like it, subscribe, share. I mean, if you want to make edits of my new YouTube videos on this new YouTube channel of mine, like on TikTok or Instagram, by all means, please do. But what I would hope is that you actually, link my YouTube channel, at least, if you could be so kind to do that, whether on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter. Like, put the link to my new YouTube channel and, just try to help me out here as best as you can, because that would mean the world to me. And, this is pretty much all I have. Me making YouTube videos and me trying to become someone off of making these YouTube videos on this YouTube channel of mine is literally the only thing I have. Like, honestly, like, I don't really have anything else to live for. I have no purpose or meaning in my life. I have no talents. I have no skills. I'm not skilled at anything, nor do I have any talents. And even if I did have talents, I don't know what they are. I never did. And if I did have talents, then I would have been someone. Even years ago, I would have been making lots of money. Or if I would have had some skill that I don't know about, I would have been making money for years, and I would have actually been somebody of importance, and I would have actually done something with my life. But I don't, and that's just the reality of me as a person. And that is just what I have to accept and live with. And I've had to for years of my life now. And, I don't know what else to say. and I've already been droning on for too long anyways, but let me know what you all think in the comment section down below.